Let's try thinking about the future. After you get Sparking Zero and spend hours completing the story mode, playing tournaments, what happens then? What keeps you coming back to the game after you completed all the content? Well, one answer is online PvP. Going up the ranks and getting better and better at the game is definitely something that a lot of people are going to be doing. But to me, that's not the only game mode I'm looking forward to, because we also got custom battles. And I can easily see this being the main reason why many players stick with Sparking Zero for years after they're done with the main content. It may sound a little bit like fantasy right now, but after you see the potential that this game mode has for creating new what-if stories, incredible gameplay challenges, or even fighting game puzzles, then maybe you'll start to believe. And it all starts right here as we select Custom Battle. So here you can play bonus battles made by the developers, create your own custom battles, or browse other players' creations as well as watch replays. For me, replays are a really big deal. Easily one of the things I hate the most in games like Mario Maker is spending hours crafting a level and then not being able to see anyone play that level. So allowing replays here means that creators get to see people play their creations, which encourages more creators to make more levels. We are going to start, however, by playing a bonus battle made by the developers. This is a pretty simple battle with a focus on storytelling. It doesn't have any weird gameplay mechanics, which makes it the perfect entry point to this whole game mode. Trunks escapes from the future ruled by Goku Black, but can't help but grieve the world they left behind. Hey Trunks, Mr. Piccolo, it's been too long. The future, where you were, is in dire straits, it seems. Yes, Goku Black killed them all. Not looking for revenge then? That's impossible for me as I am now. I'm pretty much helpless. Take a stance. Huh? Yeah. What did Gohan teach you? Let me see this for myself. Master's mentor. So the story here is pretty basic, right? Trunks goes back to the past, he's thinking about the future, he runs into Piccolo, and it's kind of an honor for him to be coached and trained by the person who taught his master, Gohan, right? So there's also dialogue happening during the battle, though this is obviously not voiced because you can pick more than 5,000 lines or something crazy like that, plus each line has some variations, so it'd have all the voice actors voice all of those lines. That would probably be insane. It's a little hard for me to read as the battle is going on, however, so I'm not a big fan of that because there's no voice acting at all. That said, this is a pretty simple what-if story. There's one limitation here, which is Trunks cannot transform. So there is one gameplay limitation. Other than that, it's mostly a story creation. And all of that dialogue that you guys just saw, you can make all of that yourself. All of these custom battles that we're about to see, all these bonus battles made by the developers, they utilize tools that you can perfectly recreate yourself. You may have also noticed that the English is slightly broken, but I'm kind of a big fan of that because every time there's green text, you'll notice that names are often in green or locations are in green. That's because when you create these dialogue scenes, you have the sentence, but the green part can actually change. And so for them to allow that change to happen, it means that the English can't really be perfect. Also, I bet this was created in Japanese, so it must have been really hard to translate. Now, I don't think it's like terrible English. It's just like broken enough to make it funny, but also like not broken enough that you cannot understand what's going on. So I'm not going to give them a hard time for that. I actually like it. I actually am a fan. And that is victory for Trunks. And then we have the ending cutscene right here. Wah! Good. Keep it up. Don't worry, you're plenty strong. Thank you so much, Mr. Pickle. The world that Gohan tried to protect. Okay, I went too fast. Understood. And then Trunks, with his new promise, Trunks returns to the future. So Trunks there is in green. You could switch that for Kid Buu. It would make no sense for this story, but you could. So that's one of the options. And now that you've seen a custom battle, let's create our own. So you've got a couple of options here. Normal edit is the one we're going to select. Simple is probably where you want to start with less options. And copy allows you to not only copy your previous creations and then alter them, but also the bonus battles that you already completed. Like this one with Trunks and Piccolo, I could just copy that and then make my changes. But for this one, I wanted to recreate a Tenkaichi 1 classic, where Chiaotzu goes to Namek, meets Goldo, and tells him that his breath stinks.
What do you want? You got a funny-looking head. You want to go at it?
You're disgusting. Your breath stinks. Ew.
So I select these characters along with Planet Namek, and then I start playing around with effects. So these are conditions that you can trigger in-game as you are playing, and the conditions are crazy. This is what makes this game mode. So we have 3 tables that we can fill with effects here. We're gonna stick to 1 table for this encounter, but if you wanted, you could create 3 different groups of effects. Only 1 table can be active at each time, but you can create an event on table A that switches the effects to table B. So like if your character HP drops below 50% health, for example, we go into the next effects table, stuff like that. And that works on any of these conditions that you're watching here. It's not just HP, it's time elapsed, or it's using a certain move, hitting a specific attack, or the attack gets blocked, or it misses. Performing certain actions, emotes, transformations, character switching, everything can trigger these effects. For this first one, we're gonna keep it very simple and say that if the opponent reaches 50% health, what do? What is the effect? What happens when Goldo reaches 50%? And I found this one, which you can make an ultimate blast hit guaranteed. And you can even set the damage of this blast, which I just left at 100%, but you could make it a guaranteed 1-hit kill. I don't know how you would clear this custom battle. If the opponent reaches half health, you die. I don't see a way to win here. So yeah, just 100% damage, normal damage right there. And also let's change Goldo's ki back to 100% and his HP to 100% also. So to recap, once Goldo reaches 50% health or lower, he's gonna hit us with an ultimate blast and he's gonna fully recover health and ki. That is our first condition. We can also set this to trigger multiple times, but I just wanted to trigger once. Otherwise, he just keeps healing up and hitting us with ultimates. And that's our first effect. Let's create another one. So this time, I want something to happen to me playing as Chiaotzu. And so when I hit 10% health, I also want to recover HP, but only 50%, not fully. I don't want to make this too easy. And I also want to change the CPU level. I don't know what the default level is, but here I'm going to change it to the maximum, which is level 20. And that is the effect. So the idea is I beat Goldo and he's going to heal once he reaches 50%. And then I got to beat him again before I reach 10%, because if I happen to reach 10%, yes, I do get healed, but the CPU difficulty becomes insane. In my mind, that's how I saw this battle going, but the beautiful thing about this game mode is that the unpredictable can happen, and it will happen. This was mostly improvised, by the way. I didn't go into this session with this idea, but I'm kind of happy with what I came up with in such a short time. Imagine if you could actually spend hours crafting this. These encounters are gonna be insane. Now, if you wanted, that could be it, and you could just have a gameplay custom battle, but I also wanted to mess with the scene creation to see what the story portion of this looks like. Because if your focus is on telling what-if stories, you're going to be messing around with these menus a lot. So we're creating a single scene here, a single cut. And as you can see, you can choose the backdrop and you can choose a preset action between the 2 characters. You can change their poses, their facial expressions, and you can even have characters that are not in this encounter. Let's say I wanted Tien to say something to Chiaotzu right before this fight begins. I could have added Tien to the scene. I didn't do that, but there is a bonus battle later in the video that will have something like this. Then you have the captions. After you're happy with the character poses and the character movement, you can choose what the characters say. And you can pick a speaker along with thousands of voice lines. And this is my biggest criticism here. When picking a speaker, this should just be alphabetical. It's unnecessarily hard to find the character I'm looking for. In fact, I didn't find Chiaotzu at all. I called him a different thing. When picking the line, you have all of these filters, and you can narrow down the search. Otherwise, you'd have over 5,000 lines to choose from. And on top of that, you see the green text once in a while. You can actually change that word. So instead of mom, I can say any of these other options. Again, this should have been alphabetical. It's ordered very weirdly. So I spent some time here. You'll see the end result while we play, but for now, let's skip forward. Then you have some screen effects if you want them, like sepia, monochrome, etc. You can further craft a slow motion camera and set a thumbnail for your scene. That is how you edit a single cut, a single camera shot. I made another one. This time I didn't do any dialogue since it takes a really long time to browse all the options. But then you take your scenes, you order them, and that's how you create your intro, or your victory scene, or your losing scene too. And then you wrap up the custom battle creation with a thumbnail and a title screen, And this is the end result of the custom battle that I built. So first we have a camera shot that doesn't have any dialogue. And then we have, stand aside, brat. Welcome to town. Goldo returns home. So yeah, I couldn't find Chiaotzu's name. Monkey's latent power. Look, I couldn't find the names, okay? So I just called Chiaotzu Demon and then Monkey's latent power. So now here we go. This is the custom battle we created. Again, remember, once Goldo reaches 50% health, things are gonna happen. Once I reach 10% health, things are gonna happen. And in my head, that's all that was gonna happen. That those conditions I set, that's what's gonna go. But this game mode is just beautiful. Also, my first time playing Chiaotzu, so I thought I should give you a breakdown or a showcase of his moves. And yeah, Don't Ray, Psychic Rock Throw. He's got After Image, he's got Telekinesis. I just activated After Image, so this should be good. He goes into Sparking mode, but check this out. You can't hit me, bro. I said you can't hit me, bro. Boom! No vanishing attack. Interesting there. Okay. And he goes down to the water. Now, you know that I'm not a big fan of playing underwater. I mean, I like playing underwater, but for footage, I think it's lame. And I realized my mistake as soon as I hit this button. I forgot it was a suicide attack. So now we trigger both effects at the same time, right? But the first effect that I have is me getting hit by an ultimate. So I'm not even gonna have time to heal. I mean, Goldo didn't even heal. He didn't even go back to full ki. I mean, he already had it. So yeah, the order of the effects matters here. Definitely the ultimate hit first, and that triggered before any heals happen. Obviously, we're gonna retry, and this time we're gonna try to not commit suicide. You know, let's just damage Goldo normally, and then maybe reach 10% ourselves. And we could just like brute force this and beat him, but like I also want to see the effect on me. So definitely gonna try to trigger both of them. I want to see them in action. I mean, I just set both of those conditions myself, so definitely want to see it happen. That said, this Goldo and me, we're clashing a lot. Trying to get his back so we don't clash as much. It's a great block. Alright, finally, we get some rush attacks. I love that animation. Just headbutt, headbutt. Alright, we got a revenge counter. He's got a Z counter. We're gonna key charge. Rocks. And they hit. He reached 50% health, which means ultimate attack. It actually teleports me to the water there. Teleports me right next to him. So he gets to hit me with this attack for, you know, 100% damage of the normal ultimate. And now I want to reach my 10%. I haven't quite done it yet. I love the battle damage look of Chiaotzu. That little hair just floating there. Also, the flying animation is sick. Or the lack of flying animation, I guess. But yeah, I want to get hit by stuff, but nothing that would kill me in one shot. So we are threading a fine line here. Look at those water reflections. Alright, he's going to hit us with an ultimate, so we got to dodge this, because this would definitely kill us. Hit me with something that isn't that heavy, please. And also get out of the water. Alright, mission get out of the water complete. Let me get hit by that. Sweet! And now I healed, as you can see, which means Goldo's CPU level has gone up to 20. You can no longer touch Goldo. Straight up. I go in with a vanishing attack. Boom, interrupted immediately. Spaces his buttons perfectly. Okay, let's try with a burst dash. Nope. Okay, he's gonna vanish that. Sweet. Let's try going in front with a dash and then bursting. Oh no. Okay, he was also counting on that. Ooh. Perfect vanish there. And this is a punish. He was still recovering from his blast. So that's the one time that we can damage. Because otherwise, Z counter on the second hit. Vanishes our Z counter. It's... every time they do this, though, that's a chance for you to throw your own blast. I didn't do it here, though. That is the one weakness I've seen for CPU level 20. Other than that, if you're going in for melee range and trying to do combos, forget about it. This is impossible. All right, blocks, blocks, blocks. Good blocks. Finally got some hits. He went for revenge counter, and I vanished that with my auto combo. That was sick. The only reason this connected is because he threw a key blast. Otherwise, it wouldn't have worked. He would have vanished that, and I wouldn't have gotten punished. But instead, he threw a key blast, and still managed to block it. And Farewell Tien here will actually murder him, and it didn't come out. I don't know why, but it didn't come out. Just did like a little crouching animation. So we're gonna lose here, but we triggered all the effects, we triggered all the conditions that we set, I'm super happy with that quick test, and I thought I should use the rest of my time to check out some of the developers' creations, and so that's what we're gonna do for the rest of the video. I tried to only pick scenarios that had characters that I had not played yet, so I could also showcase some new movesets. And by the way, with every Sparking Zero video so far, we have been giving YouTube members early access to the next video every time. The next video is actually gonna showcase a bunch of new movesets because I play the main villains from Dragon Ball Z movies. So if you're excited for Cooler, Broly, Janemba, and you want to watch that right now, that video is already out for YouTube members. Otherwise, it should be a couple of days and it will be out for everyone. But speaking of new movesets, that's why we picked this Yamcha scenario right here against 3 Saibamen. Vegeta! So this is a great example of Vegeta not being in this custom battle at all. Like, he's not on the playable team, he's not on the opposition, but he's here in the cutscene, so you can use characters just for storytelling if you want to. Basically, yeah, Yamcha is asking Vegeta to use his Saibaman because he's grown, he's developed, and he's like, get some senzu bean ready, Vegeta. And Vegeta's not happy that he's asking him for favors. Now I was like, why do I have to? Like, I gave you the Saibaman, stop asking me for stuff. The Depths of Despair again? Saibaman defeated. Now, custom battles do not tell you any of their effect conditions. So those effects that we just set for our Chiaotzu versus Goldo fight, we do not know what the developers did here until we beat the battle, which is interesting. After you beat the battle, you can even like copy those conditions and edit the scenario and make your own from that. I'm gonna say that for this battle, if a Saibaman hits me, I am dead. That is kind of the vibe that I got, because they are going for the self-destruct attack a lot. Maybe it's just a high-speed rush, because they don't have sparking mode. But this being Yamcha, and you know, the whole theme of like, I'm better now. Like, maybe me versus 3 Saibamen means, oh, getting hit by 1 ultimate or 1 self-destruct from a Saibaman might just be instant death. Maybe. I don't know, I couldn't tell you, because I dodged them. Look at this clash. We're getting good at Sparking Zero. And it's time to go wild, baby! I love the animation work on Yamcha. He actually looks really, really good. That's 1 Saibaman down out of 3. We gotta look for the next one as they spawn. Spawned in the middle of the arena. I don't know if that's always the case. The next one is also gonna spawn in the middle of the arena. Curious to see if that's just like the spawn point on the stage. They're already breaking the stage. By the way, you can pick the World Tournament Arena without spectators on the stand, which makes the stage destructible right away, instead of like you having to throw an ultimate attack and then having the whole evacuation scene play out. Yeah, you can just pick without the crowd from the get-go, and everything's just destructible. The acid spit is probably still unblockable, but I really love the animation there. Like, the head actually opening up. I don't think we've ever seen a Saibaman with that much detail. That said, it's time to pull off the Spirit Ball. Two Saibamen down, 1 to go, and yes, we did do that Spirit Ball right after we did an after image, because Yamcha does have the after image, and that is, in general, in Tenkaichi, a very good skill to have. I don't know about Sparking Zero specifically, if that's still going to be goated. It looks like it to me, personally, but it's too soon to tell, I guess. I tried to vanish after Lift Strike, because I noticed some characters can actually do it. So like Lift Strike, boom, and then you finish with another strong attack, and then you can usually vanish, but Yamcha couldn't do it. So that might be a character-specific thing, not a universal thing. Alright, he's going to like perfectly dodge that, but that's fine. This Saibaman should be done. He's cooked. And we get the ending cutscene that the developers cooked for us. I knew it! I've gotten stronger! Yes! It's world-class dummy. So that's a green option. You can just put world-class dummy in a bunch of different dialogue lines, which is cool. Up next, let's go for another custom battle. We're gonna play Saibaman's Comeback, and I want you guys to notice the tags under this challenge. So the tags are Instant Death Combo and Life Risking Blow. So you can kinda try to guess what the creators are doing as far as conditions go by reading the tags. That's kind of your first hint, even though you can't see the conditions themselves until you've beaten the actual encounter. You can try to guess by looking at those tags. So see if you can guess before I was able to guess what the conditions were here. By the time I say so, I will say something like, at this point I figured it out. So try to guess. Saibamen's comeback, and I'll try to help as little as I can. I went into the start menu to see if you could see like what the conditions are. And yeah, you have 4 Saibamen, I believe, versus 3 Saiyans. Those are Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta. The concept is Saibamen are revolting. That is the story concept. That's not going to help you figure out the gameplay conditions. The dialogue before doesn't help you figure out the gameplay conditions, but stuff on screen will help you figure it out, and at this point I have already. As I go into Sparking mode, I know exactly what I got to do. So what gave it away was the tags, first of all. I'm like, oh, they want me to one-shot them with the ultimate. The second thing that gave it away was their health bars. They have way too much health for a fight against the Saibamen. I'm like, sus. Raditz had even more health than Nappa. So that's what gave it away for me. Like, you guys want me to go into ult and self-destruct with every single one of these. It's like, it was a bunch of factors together. It was, first of all, we have 1 more Saibamen than they have Saiyans. So if I self-destruct 3 of them, I still have 1 left, and that's the one that wins the battle, right? So that was the first thing that alerted me to it. The second thing was definitely the health. It was like, oh, you guys have way too much health. There's gotta be a one-shot here. And sure enough, there was a one-shot. It's the ultimate. So if you go for Saibamen Bomb... Bro, look at those facial expressions. And think about the amount of work that they had for, like, the entire... Oh, this ragdoll, though. The amount of work they had to like make sure these expressions look good on every character. This game has 182 characters, every single one of them getting hit by this Saibamen attack, and there are a few other attacks like this where the characters make a crazy expression. Like, they all have to look good, and every time they make a new DLC character, they gotta make sure they look good in the... Wait, that was a crazy camera moment, I know. But every time they release a new DLC character, they gotta make sure that their faces look good in the Saibamen ult. How insane is that? Mazui! And with that, I want to show you something else that's really cool with this ending cutscene. Saibamen are happy. You know, they've overthrown their Saiyan rulers. The time to take revenge on Saiyan has finally come. That broken English again, beautiful. But, even so, the joy of victory is short-lived as danger looms. So, next time Saibamen perishes, one last chance, setting up a sequel for another custom battle. And this is something you can also do with your own custom battles. You can set a series of custom battles and tell a story that way in different encounters. Now, the developers here are actually able to lock some encounters before you beat others. So as you can see in this menu, there are some encounters here that are completely locked off. I don't think you have a way to do that yourself. You can't like prevent a player from playing episode 2 before they play episode 1, but it's still something that you could kind of guide them to do and be like, okay, this is the first episode, start here and then go here through this series. I think that is absolutely sick. I didn't even think of that before trying out this game mode and checking out these bonus battles. It's not just custom battles. You could create entire storylines. And this is why this game mode is so insane. We're gonna check out one final battle, which is this training session with Whis versus Goku. I'm counting on you again, Whis. Now, to see how you've grown, I'm gonna put you through your paces today. Tough love? That's a heck of a way to train, Whis. This one does something really cool. So as you just saw, it's Whis versus Goku Super. And if you guys watch my previous content, you know that Goku Super has base form, Super Saiyan God, and Super Saiyan Blue. He does not go Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct is a separate character. So they do something really clever here. I think they are setting Goku to transform after a certain amount of time or a certain amount of damage taken. Like, it just goes up a form. Right here, boom, Super Saiyan. The progression that this Goku did on me was too perfect, you know? It was like too perfect. Like, I feel like this was crafted. is meant to go up a level every amount of time or every amount of damage. Big throw, read me perfectly, and go Super Saiyan God. This Super Saiyan God has a move that I don't know if people have seen before, but it's an unblockable that has crazy range. Also Whis seems to have a passive move where it just like dodges the first attack. If you're not pressing any button, I think you've seen me do... Oh, look at this range. So I even took a step back and I still get hit by the unblockable. High ground, high floor. So if you've seen my Ultra Instinct gameplay, the first video of Sparking Zero that I put out of this event, you may have seen that like if I'm not touching any buttons, he dodges. I think Whis has that, but only for the first hits. By the way, he's getting comboed here and transforming. He's not supposed to be able to transform, which is kind of what gave it away that this is actually a custom battle condition. Like he must have reached that point and goes into, you know, Super Saiyan Blue. He's also going to go Kaioken, but the way they do Ultra Instinct is kind of smart. Unfortunately, he keeps blocking this one. I don't think I ever landed it. I do land his ultimate, so you're going to get... Oh, what a perfectly timed barrier. Do you see that? Blue Kaioken. That's not going to help you much. And whoop! Mid-combo, switches over to Ultra Instinct. That was a character switch. Like, so you can actually force character switching without having that character show up at the start of the battle. Right? So you can hide characters under the conditions. So people might go, oh, I'm going to play... I don't know, Goku versus Vegeta. And then halfway through, instead of Vegeta, it's baby Vegeta. Like, he just shows up and you can, like, set up a story that says, oh, well, baby showed up and, like, absorbed him or whatever. Like, something cool like that. I don't know. Because UI Goku was not on that first menu. So, yeah, that's another thing that's just so cool. By the way, with the Whis thing, about him dodging the first attack, see that? Right there, right there. I think the reason why I strongly believe this is, first of all, I have footage of right here, him dodging Ki Blasts, which is something UI Goku did not do. He didn't dodge Ki Blasts at all. But also, I think this happened to me when I played the movie characters, which is the next video coming out. So when I played the movie characters, I fought against Whis, and I noticed that the first hit was always getting dodged. And I'm like, interesting. That was snack time. Pretty sure it healed me. I'm not... You can maybe rewind and watch that effect. And he's gonna go into ultimate. I'm gonna like shoot a laser. Try to discourage him from doing anything. Let me dodge that real quick. Let's go into Sparking mode ourselves. Maybe finish this with a blast. He hit me with Ki Blast, which kept me in place for me to get hit with a beam. We're now both on the last health bar. It was actually close. Epilogue to Destruction. It's loaded up and ready to go. We already did it once, but I was talking over it. So let's just dodge this one and enjoy the full cinematic. That's right, GG's. And that, folks, is your extended look at custom battles. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. This might be the main reason for people to return to the game on a daily basis after they are done with all the story content, with all the achievements, with all that stuff, along with PvP, of course, but it's an absolute genius game mode. And like I said, I've got movie characters gameplay out right now for YouTube members if you want to watch it early. It should come out in a couple of days for everyone else though, same as this video as well as the video before this one, which was all about the Goku Black story mode, where they ramp up the difficulty like crazy. Go check that out right here, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!